Hello friends, welcome to lecture number 4 of alternating current. In the previous lecture what we discussed? Series LCR circuit. Have you remembered the formula what I told in the previous lecture? Because those formulas are required for today's lecture. But one formula is most required. I am reminding you again. I naught, the peak current is equal to E naught, peak voltage divided by Z. What is Z? Impedance. So E naught, what is the expression of Z? R square plus XL minus XC whole square root over. This formula will require in this lecture. Remember it. If you have not remembered, now you remember this formula because we need this formula here. And XL is equal to omega L, XL is equal to omega L, and X is equal to 1 by omega C. Also you know in other lectures this one. So this much knowledge is required for today's lecture. But in today's lecture what we'll discuss? So that's important. What we discuss in today's lecture? Flashback. Now flashback, we'll go to class 11th. Have you read in class 11th resonance? Have you remembered this term resonance? Have you remembered it? Okay, you are thinking, sir, please, always you are going to class 11th. We don't want to go to 11th. Resonance, that was in one chapter. We have not remembered also properly. That was, I think, in SHM chapter. Resonance is a portion of SHM chapter, sir. But we have not remembered it properly. Okay, don't worry. I'll tell you completely about the resonance in class 11th. Then we'll come to today's topic. Today's topic is still, I have not told you till now. So we'll go to now, class 11th, we'll understand what is resonance, then we'll come to today's topic. I'm telling you completely what you had read in class 11th. Okay, if you have not read in class 11th, then no problem. Now try to listen. So resonance, when it happens, you have done that in physics lab. Resonance. What happens in resonance? Resonance is said to be happen when a body oscillates in maximum amplitude. This body oscillates. But when resonance happens, the body oscillates with the maximum amplitude, then it's called resonance. The body oscillates with the maximum amplitude. Suppose one oscillation graph I am doing, this is the oscillation graph. Means this is the amplitude. This is the amplitude of the oscillation. This is one graph of oscillation. This is the amplitude of the oscillation. But when a body oscillates with maximum amplitude means what happens? What happens at that time? How the graph looks like? The graph looks like this, you see. Now this is the graph. This is called resonance. Resonance is said to be happen when a body oscillates with maximum amplitude of oscillation, then resonance. Now question is coming to your mind, when this happens, in which condition this resonance happens? What is the condition of resonance? Condition of resonance is natural frequency is equal to forced frequency. This is the condition. Then resonance happens. Now it is becoming more and more difficult. Sir, what is natural frequency? What is resonance frequency? So many doubts we have now. Okay. So let's discuss one practical example of resonance. What you have done. Then you can able to understand what is this natural frequency, what is this forced frequency, and what is this maximum amplitude of oscillation. We will go to the practical life. So let's first go to your practical lab where you have done this resonance. Practical lab. In practical lab, have you seen one experiment? Have you seen one device like this? At the end of this class 11th, you might have seen one device, one wooden board like this. This is the wooden board. One wooden board like this. Then one string which is kept on a pulley here. Then it comes down and one weight is hung from it by the mass. One weight is hung from it, mass mg. Then like this, and it is fixed at this end. This end it is fixed, and it is plugged by. It is supported by this type of cell. Wooden type of wooden structures these are. Okay, the string is supported by the wooden structures. What experiment you have done in this device? And what this device is called? Have you remembered it? What this device is called? Sonometer. This is called sonometer. In sonometer experiment, you have done resonance. If you have done and forgot, I will remind you. If you have not done, then also don't worry. I will explain you. You can picturize in your brain. Okay? So now let's see. So what resonance you have done there? So this string is now plugged by these two wooden supports. Means this is the effective length of this string. This to this is the length of this string. This to this, not the whole. This to this where it is plugged. And the string has some mass. The string has some tension because it is now tight by this weight. It has some tension. So from its mass, from its length, from its tension, we can find its natural frequency. What is the natural frequency now? Natural frequency nu is equal to 1 by 2L T by m root over. This is the natural frequency of a string. Formula is there. You have derived this formula in class 11th. I am not going to that derivation. I cannot go. So natural frequency depends on the string. Its length, it's constant between this to this. Tension is a constant because you are now the mass you have taken. And small m is mass per unit length. In some books you will find it as mu symbol. To remove the confusion between mass and mass per unit length, in mu symbol some books will find. This is mass per unit length. This frequency is called a natural frequency. Got now natural frequency? It depends on the string itself. With how much of frequency it can vibrate. Second is, what is force frequency? Force frequency, you had brought one tuning fork, hit the tuning fork on the pad, rubber pad, then you keep it on the wooden board. Wooden board you have kept that tuning fork on the wooden board. Close to the string. Close to the string you have kept that wooden board. Okay, those who have done the experiment, you have done it like this. You have kept the string on kept the tuning fork on the wooden board, or very close to the string. You have kept it. So that tuning fork, when you hit it on the rubber pad, that start vibrating. Then it has some frequency. That is which frequency? That is the forced frequency. Tuning fork frequency is the forced frequency. The string frequency, which is calculated by the formula, is the natural frequency. When the natural frequency which is calculated from this formula will match with the tuning fork frequency, then resonance happens. Happens means string oscillate with maximum amplitude. This string oscillate with maximum amplitude. Now you understood? Natural frequency is the calculated from its formula, which depends on the string itself. Force frequency is the frequency of this tuning fork. When both match, string oscillate with maximum amplitude. But the question is coming to your mind, sir, how we can know that string oscillate with the maximum amplitude? How will you know? You will know that by keeping a paper rider. Paper rider you will keep on the string. What is paper rider? A small cut piece of paper, very small, very light. Very light paper cut piece will take, you will keep it on the string and you hit the tuning fork. If you have chosen the proper frequency tuning fork, base tuning fork are available of different frequency. If you have chosen proper frequency which matches this frequency which is calculated from this formula, if you both match and when you keep the tuning fork here, the string oscillate with maximum amplitude. How can you know maximum amplitude? This paper rider will fly. Paper rider will fly from your device. Okay, it will move away from it. It will fly like this and it will come down, come to the experiment table. This paper rider. It's a very interesting experiment. If you have done it, you must have enjoyed this experiment. Okay, this paper rider will fly, then you will be happy that yes, I got the frequency. I got the natural frequency now. Because natural and forced are same. At that time, so resonance happens in the practical lab, you all have seen. Now you could be able to understand what is natural frequency, what is forced frequency, how they match, and how the string oscillate with maximum amplitude, and how you have seen that maximum amplitude due to the fly of this paper rider. Okay, some of you are thinking, sir, you are telling the example of practical lab, where rarely we visit that place in our career. You are telling the example of practical lab, we rarely visit to that place. So you tell some other example so that we can able to understand in day-to-day life, out of the school, out of the college. So, okay, I'm telling one other example. Have you seen any soldier group marching on a bridge? I will say you have not seen at all. Why? Because soldiers never march on a bridge. Why soldiers never march on a bridge? I think you might have listened this one from history or from somebody else or from your teachers. That once upon a time, okay, once soldiers while marching on a bridge, the bridge collapsed. Due to what? Due to resonance. Due to resonance, bridge collapsed when the soldiers were marching on the bridge. But why this happened? Due to resonance. That's why soldiers never march on the bridge. But how resonance happened there? What is natural frequency? What is forced frequency? This condition should be satisfied. Yes. Natural frequency is the bridge frequency. That depends on the length of the bridge, the material used. You will find that using different formula. Okay, not this is only valid for string. There you can find that using different formula. Okay, the natural frequency the bridge has. Then what is the forced frequency? Forced frequency comes due to the stamping of the foot of the soldiers. When the soldiers march, if they march on the bridge, what happened? They use left, right like this. The question may come to your brain. So when they walk on the bridge also they don't they don't stamp on the bridge. When they walk they also do. But when they march, they do it in a particular interval of time. The force becomes periodic. But if they walk, there is no such particular interval of time, it becomes irregular. But when they march, at a time all soldiers do left, right. Now one time period comes. From there one frequency will calculate. That frequency which comes due to stamping of the foot of the soldiers, that is called forced frequency. Bridge frequency is called natural frequency. If by chance those two frequencies will match, if not match, it's okay. But we don't know whether it will match or not. If by chance the two frequencies will match, the bridge start oscillating with more amplitude. Breeze start oscillating with more amplitude. With more amplitude means what will happen to the breeze? Collapse. Breeze collapse there. So this is resonance. I hope now you understood what is resonance. But what resonance I told you everything in mechanical bodies. This is called mechanical resonance. But now the question is coming to your mind, sir, you are continuing alternating current chapter. So in alternating current chapter, here also resonance happens. Yes. Why I told you this resonance? Because today we will discuss about the resonance, electric resonance today we will discuss. Electric resonance is our topic today. That is electric resonance. Resonance in LCR circuit this happens. In which circuit? LCR circuit this happens. Electric resonance. Again the question is coming to your mind. Electric resonance means here what is natural frequency? What is forced frequency? And who oscillates with the maximum amplitude? These are the three questions now to you. These are the three questions now. If these three questions you will understand, then you can able to understand actually what is electric resonance. Let's first come. What is natural frequency? Three questions for us. One is what is natural frequency. Second one is what is forced frequency. Then third one is what is who oscillate. Who oscillate. This is the third question. Okay, these three questions will you understand, then you can able to understand what is electric resonance. So in LCR circuit this happens. This L, this is C, this R. The order doesn't matter. Where will draw L, where will draw R, where will draw C. Not matter. Okay. So because this series combination. So LCR. So here what do we mean by the natural frequency? Natural frequency depends on these values what you have connected. From these values we will get one natural frequency. There is a formula. That formula I will tell you? No. We will derive that formula today. From using one formula we will find a natural frequency from this. These are constants, L constant, C constant, R constant. From this we will find natural frequency. From this we will find natural frequency, natural, which is fixed. If L, C, R, these all are fixed, means natural frequency is fixed for this circuit. It's constant. Now you understand what is natural frequency? Then question comes, what is the forced frequency? Here, with what source you are connecting them? Source means you are connecting the source. The equation is like this: E is equal to E naught sin omega t. Is there some frequency here? Yes, this one. Omega. Omega is equal to 2 pi nu. This nu. With what source you are connecting to this circuit? Are you connecting to it your home delivery AC? This nu will be 50 Hz. If you connect it to any other alternating sources are also available of different very high frequencies, 10 to the power 4 Hz, 10 to the power 6 Hz, many alternating sources are there. With what source you are connecting, that matters. So that is the forced frequency which comes from this omega, the source frequency. Forced frequency means this is the source frequency. Natural frequency means which is calculated by from these constants, device constants. When these two frequencies match, natural frequency and forced frequency, or natural frequency and source frequency, resonance happens. Resonance happens means, come to the third point, who oscillate? Who oscillate with the maximum amplitude here? Who oscillate? Current oscillate. Current oscillate with the maximum amplitude. We will get maximum amplitude current. Means the current, suppose graph is like this. When both frequencies match, now current oscillate like this. Like this the current oscillate. Okay. So current oscillate like this. Graph will be like this, current oscillate. Maximum amplitude. So this happens. This is electric resonance. You can't able to see this thing because this is electricity. Okay. You can't able to see. So now can you able to understand what is electric resonance? Resonance is said to happen when natural frequency is equal to forced frequency. And when resonance happens, the oscillation happens with a larger amplitude or maximum amplitude. So here this is natural, this is forced. When both becomes equal, then current oscillates with maximum amplitude. Current amplitude means peak value. Peak value becomes maximum. Peak value becomes maximum. Let's see. When that peak value becomes maximum, so that resonance happens. So let's write the expression of a peak current. Peak current expression I naught. Just before I had told you to remember. I hope it is already in your notes, in your copy. Okay, I naught equal to E naught by R square plus XL minus XC. This is minus whole square root over. This not matter, you may write XC minus XL or XL minus XC. That depends upon which one is greater. Okay, so this is the I naught expression. I told during resonance, I naught oscillate with maximum amplitude. If I naught, not I naught oscillate, I naught becomes maximum. So during resonance, I naught becomes maximum. If I naught becomes maximum, this numerator becomes minimum. If this numerator becomes minimum, how this will be minimum? All cannot be zero. No one can be zero here because LC and all are connected. So then what happens? Then this subtraction can be zero. So I naught is maximum when this is minimum. This is minimum when XL is equal to X. When XL is equal to XC, then this I naught becomes maximum. So this becomes minimum. Means this cancel. So what is XL? Omega L. What is XC? 1 by omega C. So omega square is equal to 1 by LC. So omega is equal to 1 by LC root over. So this is the frequency with which, this is the frequency. Means this is the natural frequency formula. I told you what we will calculate from this circuit. This is the natural frequency formula which should match with the forced frequency. Then resonance happens. Then the current oscillates with maximum amplitude and this is the frequency formula. Okay. And this is not exactly frequency, this is angular frequency, but sometimes we tell it as frequency. So this omega we can convert it into nu 1 by LC root over. So what is nu now? 1 by 2 pi LC root over. This is the frequency of oscillation now. So this frequency is called resonant frequency. I wrote the symbol nu r. Nu r is the resonant frequency. So now you got the expression. Just before I told natural frequency you will get from this expression. But I told from these devices, from these constants. But you mark that to get resonant frequency, a resistor has no role, only inductor and capacitor. Inductor and capacitor, they decide what is the natural frequency, and when that frequency matches with the forced frequency, then resonance happens, and that is called resonant frequency. So you got the expression of now resonant frequency 1 by 2 pi LC root over, or you can remember this omega is equal to 1 by LC root over. This formula is also sufficient. So now this is about resonance. You understood what is resonance. But now we will come to during resonance. When this resonance happens, then what happens in this LCR circuit? Some points we'll discuss. Those points are very important for exam. Remember. So now we'll come to this formula. You remember this one, or omega formula. You now remember. So now we come to what happens when during resonance. So during resonance, what happens? During resonance, what happens? Now let's. So first, during resonance, what is the impedance of the circuit? In impedance formula, R square plus XL minus XC whole square root over. But XL and XC cancel. So R square root over is equal to R. Because in resonance XL is equal to XC, they cancel each other, is equal to R. Means impedance is equal to resistance. First 1 mark question. My each bit will be now one important 1 mark question for exam. Try to understand. During resonance, impedance of the LCR circuit is equal to resistance. So can I say that LCR circuit behaves such a pure resistive circuit. It behaves as a pure resistive circuit only during resonance. I am telling to you. Only when the frequency of the source is nu is equal to nu R. Nu is equal to nu R. Because during resonance means I am writing here nu is equal to nu R. This must satisfy. Then second point is again what happened during resonance. What is the phase difference between current and EMF? It's now become a pure resistive circuit. XL and XC cancel each other. What is the phase difference? What happens in resistive circuit? This same thing happens. What is the phase difference? 0. Means current and EMF will be in same phase. Both will be in same phase. So phi is equal to 0. Third question or third bit, which is very, very important, you note it. Very, very important. What is the value of power factor? Power factor means cos phi. If phi is equal to 0, cos phi equal to 1. About this power factor, I will tell you in the next video. But you now remember it, the value of power factor. During resonance, always this question comes. This is a very important one. Among all the points, this point is very important. What is the value of a power factor during resonance? Now come to the fourth point. What happened? Draw Z versus nu graph. Z versus nu graph for LCR circuit during resonance. Z versus nu graph means, you see the graph? This is nu, this is Z. This is Z now. So when Z expression you see, I am writing again here the Z expression. R square plus XL minus XC whole square root over. So when nu is equal to nu R, I am just marking a point at which frequency resonance happens. When nu is equal to nu R, frequency means this is the source frequency for which resonance happens. Nu is equal to nu R. XL XC cancel. What is the value of Z? Value of Z is equal to R. Value of Z is equal to R now. One value R you take. This is the point. We get now 1 point. We get now 1 point for our graph. Then come to the next. But at nu R, Z is equal to minimum. Because this term totally cancel. But if the frequency will be other than nu R, it may be more or it may be less. This term will be there. It will not, it become non-zero because only this cancel when nu is equal to nu R. Otherwise this term will be there, this term will be there, means it is added with R, means impedance increases. Impedance increases. I told you only at a nu R this cancel, so Z is equal to R. If you increase the frequency, also this term appear, If you decrease the frequency, also this term appear. Because only at this frequency, this term cancel. Only the frequency nu r, this term cancel. If we go more than nu r, this term appears. If you go less than nu r, also this term appears. Means z increases to both sides. Only z become minimum when nu is equal to nu r. Otherwise, it increases to both sides. The graph will be like this. You see, just by dotted line and show when nu is equal to nu r, then this is resistance. The impedance is equal to resistance. Otherwise, the graph is like this. Z increases. If nu increase, Z increase. If nu decrease, also Z increase. Because this term comes immediately. So, this is the Z versus nu graph during resonance. This is also one important question sometimes comes in exam. Now come to point number 5. Point number 5, let's see what happens during resonance. Point number 5. So now point number 5. Draw I0 versus nu graph. Another graph. I0 versus nu graph means peak current versus frequency graph. Frequency means frequency of the source. I am telling frequency of the source. Let's draw the graph. This is also one important one. This is I0. This is nu. Try to understand this one because one misconception some students have. Some students write this as I. This is not I, this is I0. Means peak currents are taken here for different frequency. I am just telling to you when the frequency, when the different frequency is of different value, not nu r, it's some different value. Suppose current oscillate like this. When frequency is of some other different value, current oscillate like this. But when frequency is nu r, means resonant frequency, how current oscillates? How current oscillate if frequency will be nu r? Current oscillate with maximum amplitude. Maximum amplitude. So what you mark here? This is for some frequency, this is for some frequency, and only this blue line what I draw, this amplitude is only for the frequency nu r. Only for the frequency means, you see, here you will get one value of I0, here you will get one value of I0, you are getting here one value of I0. So we will draw the graph between I0, this I0, this I0, this I0. I will take this black color graph I0, this red color graph I0, then this is blue color graph I0, and I will draw the graph taking different values of I0s from here because these graphs are drawn in different frequencies. In different frequencies. So when this I0 is maximum, this I0 is maximum only for this I0 is maximum only for a particular frequency, that is nu r frequency. Its maximum value, suppose I will tell 50 ampere. Suppose I am telling. Suppose 50. When this red color graph, suppose this is 20 ampere. When this is black color graph, suppose it is 10 ampere. Means this 50 ampere, 20 ampere, 10 ampere, these points will take per and the frequency will take and will draw the graph. For different frequencies. This is drawn at nu r, this red color drawn at nu 1, this black color is drawn at nu 2 frequency. If the graphs are drawn at a different source frequency, we are getting different values of I0. We draw the graph between I0 versus nu. And when the frequency is nu r, I0 is maximum, 50 suppose maximum. I will take this one. Just at that, it's maximum. Then if the frequency is other than nu r, maybe less, maybe more, but I0 decreases. Means the graph becomes less. I0 decreases. So if frequency is other than nu r, I0 decreases, so the graph will be like this. Graph will be like this. Just the reverse of Z versus nu graph. Where Z is a maximum, there I0 is minimum. Where Z is minimum, there I0 is maximum. just reverse of this. Now you got the graph. Only I explain you to remove from your mind that here I am taking I naught. I am not taking I. Remember, here I naught means different from different graph. I am taking the peak values and I draw the graph. For different graph, for different frequency, I draw the current versus omega t graph. Then from there I pick the I naught values and I take the I naught values here and I draw the graph. So this is I naught versus nu. So here only peak currents are taken at different values. Only peak currents are taken. But between that peak currents, among all the peak current, which peak current is maximum? This blue color. Which graph peak current is maximum? This blue color. So that is called as what? Maximum peak current. Try now to understand this one. Maximum peak current. And we will write for that. Here peak currents are taken. I naught is taken here. But this is maximum peak current. So I will write I naught max. You see how I am writing. Try to understand. I naught max means this to this. This is I naught max. This black color, this red color, they have also I naught. But only I naught of this blue color is maximum. That I have taken here. Between peak currents, this is the maximum peak current. Try to understand. Maximum peak current. Because peak itself is maximum of a graph. Peak itself is the maximum amplitude of a graph. But between that maximum amplitude, which amplitude is again maximum? So I am taking maximum peak current. And this only happens during resonance. We will get maximum peak current graph oscillate with maximum amplitude. I hope now you understood. But again what happened here? You see, the graph will drop. But again in that graph another question comes here. What another question will come? Now that I naught max, I am writing the symbol like this. I naught max means maximum peak current. Okay? So you are getting confused that peak again maximum because peak itself is maximum. I hope you understood what is maximum peak current. So this maximum peak current value is how much? This is E naught by Z. Z. Now no Z because Z is equal to R. When this peak current becomes maximum, this resonance happens. And during resonance, in the first term Z is equal to R, I put Z is equal to R. So E naught by R. Means that maximum peak current is controlled by only R. Maximum peak current is only controlled by R. When maximum peak current happen, inductor and capacitor decide. When this happens, you try to understand the English word when this maximum peak current will happen, that who decide? That inductor and capacitor decide, L and C decide. When this will happen, that L and C decide. But how much that will be? That will be how much? What is the value? Who decide? R decide. R decide its value, but L and C decide it will happen when. It will happen here when nu is equal to nu R. But how much? That R decide, you see here. R decide how much. That means for different R, this I naught max will be different. Yes. For different values of R, this I naught max is also different. Now let's see how it is different. Now let's see how it's different. You see. So this is one graph. I'm drawing in other plane. So this is one graph. Now you sure? So this one I'm writing suppose R1, this one I'm writing R2, this one I'm writing R3. In which case I naught max is maximum. I naught max is max. Even I naught max again maximum. Sir, you are using so many maximum terms now here. I naught max again maximum in which case? In this R1 in the black color graph. Means for this R1 value, I naught maximum is maximum. I naught maximum. This is also I naught maximum. This is also I naught maximum. But these are for different R. But L and C value constant. Otherwise, this graph will not come in a straight line. At new R, always a maximum happens. Means when L and C. But L and C decide when. So in all cases, same frequency. At same frequency, this happens. Maximum happens and same frequency. Means L and C constant. But if change R, if you change R, that I naught max varies. That I naught max varies now. Okay, first I naught. I naught means this is the peak current or maximum current of a graph. Then I naught max. After I naught max, then we are coming I naught maximum. I naught maximum happens maximum. When if R1 is R value is less, this becomes more. That means you now compare the resistances here. Compare the resistances. R1 less than R2 less than R3. In exam, when this question comes, it will come, the figure will come, and the question will be compare R1 and R2 and R3. So as I naught maximum is maximum, when R1 is connected, that means R1 is minimum. Okay, R is minimum, so I naught maximum is maximum. So this is one question I told you. So about during resonance, how the questions are coming in exam. Again, another point will go. I forgot how many points to discuss. Okay, let's do it 5. I think that's over. This let's do it 6. Okay, so now another question comes here. When nu is equal to nu r, xl is equal to xc, means z is equal to r. That means circuit is pure resistive, means phase difference is equal to 0. Understand the line. Now, but when nu greater than nu r, means frequency increases, then what happens? At nu r, xl is equal to xc, but if frequency increases, then who is more, xl or xc? Frequency becomes more. Now see, xl is omega L, xc is 1 by omega c. So which one is more among this? If frequency increases, omega means 2 pi nu. Okay, so when frequency increases, means here 2 pi nu L this is. I am writing 2 pi nu L. This is 1 by 2 pi nu c. Omega is 2 pi nu. So when frequency increases means this one increases. If it increases, this one decreases. So XL is more than XC. XL increases. Numerator frequency is there, so XL increases. So that means here XL greater than XC. Now, sir, in circuit, who is dominating? Which resistor is dominating here? Inductor. So inductor dominant circuit. Inductor dominant circuit, this is called. If inductor dominant circuit, what happens to the phase difference? What happens to the who lags and who leads? What happens in inductor? In inductor, what happens? In inductor, you know, current lags. In inductor, current lags. As current lags in inductor, so here also current lags when XL greater than XC. In exam question will come, if frequency more than resonant frequency, then who lags, who leads? So then current lags. You remember, current lags. The EMF by phase difference 90 degree, pi by 2. No. Current lags EMF by phase difference pi by 2 only when the circuit is pure inductive. Pure inductive means only inductor is connected. Only inductor is connected. If XC is there but XL greater than XC, then current lags, that's true, but not by 90 degree. Then how much angle? Maybe 60 degree, maybe 30 degree, maybe 45 degree. That you will calculate using the formula tan phi XL minus XC divided by R. I had given you in the previous lecture. Using that formula you will calculate. But current doesn't lag by 90 degree. Remember, because X is there, R is also there. So if pure inductive circuit, then current lags by 90 degree. But here current lags, but not by 90 degree, but current lags. Many other angles are there between 0 to 90 also, no problem. Then when nu will be less than nu r, what happen? Means frequency is less, then XL reverse will happen, XL less than XC. If frequency decreases, then XL decreases. If XL decreases, then who here dominant here? Capacitor dominant. Capacitor dominant circuit. So if capacitor dominant circuit, then what happens to current? When capacitor dominant, then what happens to current? Current leads EMF. Again, not by 90 degree, but by some other angle that we will calculate using the formula. Tan phi is equal to not XL minus XC, XC minus XL by R. Because now here XC is greater. XC minus XL by R. Okay, so by using that formula. This is one important question also sometimes comes in exam. Another point we discuss in resonance what happens. Let's discuss another point number 7 maybe. Okay. What's that? Series LCR circuit during resonance is called as acceptor circuit. It's called as acceptor circuit. What do you mean by acceptor circuit? What do you mean by this? This point once come in the board exam. That series LC circuit during resonance is dash circuit, called as dash circuit, acceptor circuit. Why acceptor circuit? Because it accepts only one frequency and rejects all other frequencies. It accepts only one frequency and rejects all other frequencies. You will understand that one when I'll just go to the application of LCR circuit. You will understand better what do you mean by acceptor circuit. Now we'll come to the application. So points we discussed, now all points we completed. Now we'll come to the application. You can able to understand what is acceptor circuit exactly. We'll come to the application of these applications of this series LCR circuit, where we use this series LCR circuit. First, where you use this one in day-to-day life. This question is must come into your mind. Sir, you are teaching a series LCR circuit, you are telling a lot of resonance, this happens, that happens. But where practically we use this, what is the advantage of this one? Why we are reading this one? Is it in use in your day-to-day life? Yes. Every day, every moment you are using series LCR circuit. Tuning of radio and TV when you do, that is series LCR circuit. Tuning means when you just switch on a particular channel, when you rotate the knob to get a particular frequency in radio. Yes, I'm just telling you one example. All frequencies are moving in your room, here and there, everywhere, all frequencies are present. Even if starting from your mobile frequency, all FM frequency, all TV frequency, all frequencies are there. But why your radio only operates with a particular frequency, 93.5 megahertz FM, 92.7, 104? Why only particular frequency? In particular frequency, your radio now provides you the different music, songs like this. How this happens? All frequencies are there. By the help of the knob, what you do, remember, there is one LCR circuit. By the help of the knob, when you rotate the knob of your radio, by the help of the knob, you change in that LCR circuit, three circuit elements are there: a resistor, capacitor, inductor. By the help of the knob, you change the capacitance. There is a variable capacitor. That's called Gang capacitor, one variable capacitor. The plates remain like this. When you rotate the knob, the plates enter like this. When again you rotate, it comes out like this. Okay, the plates enter, the plates comes out. This is called Gang capacitor or variable capacitor. When you rotate the knob, the plates will enter like this. When the plates enter, what happens? Area of a cross section is increasing. Area of a cross section is increasing. When area of a cross section increases, you know capacitance changes. Epsilon naught A by D is there. Area of a cross section. So rotating the knob, you change C. When you change C, that means you are changing the natural frequency now there. You are changing the frequency there because frequency nu is equal to 1 by 2 pi LC root over. By changing C, you are changing frequency. And when this frequency, using L and C, when this comes 93.5 megahertz, 93.5 megahertz, mega means 10 to the power 6 hertz. If this one comes, you fix such a C value such that you are getting 93.5 megahertz. Immediately 93.5 megahertz frequency which is moving around your radio, that immediately gets absorbed by your device and start oscillating with maximum amplitude. Means you listen 93.5 megahertz. When you slightly again change C, then what you get? When this frequency, this value will be 104 megahertz, you will get 104 megahertz. When you decrease that value of C, rotating in other direction, when you rotate in other direction, what happens? You will get 92.7, you will get 92.7 megahertz. Tuning of radio and TV, you are using the series LCR circuit, and when the particular frequency you set in your device, you just set the frequency by rotating the knob. That particular frequency now is just, it was around your radio, but immediately that frequency, due only for that frequency resonance happens. That frequency sound only comes to you, but other frequencies are there, but your radio accept only one frequency and reject all other. When particular C, it is 93.5, it accept only 93.5. Other frequencies it reject, only accept one frequency. So it is called acceptor circuit. Now you understood why this is called acceptor circuit, and also in between you understood what is the application of LCR circuit in our day-to-day life. Not only this, I am also going to tell you another application of this. But always you are also using, have you, when you enter into temple, reputed temple, when you enter into one assembly, when you enter into a very large meeting is happening, what happens there? Security. For security, what happened? Another device, you have to enter through that device. Okay, you have to enter through that device what you have kept in your pocket to see, because security persons can't able to always see. If you have taken any metal, big metal or some metal weapons, then what sound happens there? Tung, 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 sound happens there. Tune, 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 sound happens. Immediately the security persons, the policemen will cut you. Okay? What is that? What is that device? Metal detector. That fully operates in series LCR circuit at resonance principle. Metal detector. What happens in metal detector while you enter through it? What is there in the metal detector? This is the base. What is there in the metal detector? You see there is one shape like this. The one shape, you have seen the shape like this. You have seen the shape like this. Okay, you are entering through this. You are thinking you are entering through this. Okay, but actually you enter through the coils. Coils are there, and you enter through coils. The coils are there. When you enter through coils, what happens? Through that coil, I am just doing a simple circuit to understand, but actually the circuit is little complicated. The actual circuit. So one capacitor is connected, then it is connected one AC source, then one resistor is connected. You see, this is the circuit. When you are entering it, what happens? But when you are suppose not entering, nothing is there. Suppose now it's just like this. Then this source frequency match with the frequency of this, because this is inductance, match with the frequency of this, means the circuit is already in resonance. The circuit is already in resonance. It is in resonance. Okay? It is already kept in resonance. But if you enter inside it, suppose keeping some weapon, you are entering, okay, one weapon, suppose you have kept, metal weapon or something, keeping, now you are entering, okay, hiding in your pocket or somewhere else. If you are entering through this, what changes here? Tell me. C change, R change. When some metal enters through this coil, then what change? Inductance change. Inductance change, self-inductance change, you know that very well. Not required to tell you. You know that very well. When metal enters into this, self-inductance change. When self-inductance change, immediately frequency now mismatch. Frequency of source, natural frequency of this circuit now mismatch. Resonance breaks. Beeping sound now comes. Tune, 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 tune. Beeping sound now comes here. This is the principle of a metal detector. But the question is coming to your mind. So whenever we enter into through that metal detector, always the sound comes. Always sound comes. Then how the policeman will see that this person is carrying one weapon or something? Always sound comes. Always sound comes, that true. But why that sound comes? Because when you enter, in your body, you must have carrying some, at least some metal. One ring, just like me. Also, you may use one ring. Your belt has also some metal. Belt buckle, there may be some metal. You might have kept your key. Okay, when you kept that key also with you, then what happened? Also, that is little metal is there. So due to that metal, beeping sound come, little fluctuation happens, mismatching happens, and beeping sound comes. But beeping sound is very less. When it's very less, the policeman, they will not mind it. Okay, but if you take one gun, one large weapon, that gun cannot be small. Gun cannot be of this much size. Gun can be your key size, your vehicle key size. No. So when you will take a gun or something, the beeping sound will be very large. Accordingly, that electronic circuit is set up. That beeping sound is done by one electronic circuit. This is the electrical part. Okay. So the beeping sound will be very large. When beeping sound will be very large, they will immediately cut you. And they will start checking. One small beeping sound, then no problem. That happens when somebody enters with some key or something. That happens. But where there is tight security system, they always tell you to keep everything away. Even if your belt, your key, everything, they always tell you to keep it out. So this is the application of LCR circuit one. I told you tuning of a TV and radio, and I told you the principle of metal detector. This is a book example number 10. You can read also from NCERT book. Always comes an exam. What is the principle of a metal detector and how this happens?